200 years ago, October 23rd, 1824, a tiny little fort wedged in between the Mysore and the Peshwa territories shook the British Empire to the core. This is the story of how that happened. So the king had just died, leaving behind an adopted heir, a young widow and his stepmother, Rani Chennamma. The adoption was something that the East India Company absolutely refused to acknowledge or even recognize. And for the next few days, negotiations dragged on. The fort was ransacked and the royal family was intimidated. And finally, Rani Chennamma, as the eldest representative of the fort of the royal family, had had absolutely enough. She had tried everything by now, including writing to the higher authorities within the East India Company to make her case, to make Kittur's case. But to no avail. So she decided to stop cooperating. And in response, the local collector, St. John Thackeray, decided to advance upon the fort. October 20th, the troops arrived at the fort. October 23rd, they advanced into the fort and the gates opened. But not to welcome them, but to ambush them, with Rani Chennamma standing herself at the ramparts of the fort, directing the military action. A fierce exchange followed. Thackeray himself was shot dead, and many British officers found themselves captured by Kittur's forces. The British were stunned. This was not something they had expected. For that day, October 23rd, 1824, Kittur was victorious. Rani Chennamma was victorious. And victorious she remained until November 1824, when she was captured and taken to Bailhongal Fort. But the story of that October still stands. It still stands 2 centuries later as a reminder of a queen who refused to give up, and of a kingdom, a fort, that refused to surrender.